Hi, everyone. I'm Kara Sundlin. It's January 4th, 2022. Let's take a look at what was happening in Connecticut today in history. 1 year ago today, on January 4th, 2021, there was a push to vaccinate more people in our state, with 2% of the population getting the shot at that point. Channel 3's Matthew Campbell reports.
New tonight, Connecticut is one of 8 states that has vaccinated more than 2% of its population.
Working with hospitals and working with nursing homes, we've had pretty good success.
That news is a double-edged sword because it also means that the current vaccination rollouts are unlikely to change.
We thought that this would be our foot in the door and we could finally get those hugs from our grandbabies, and that's important.
Emily Masters is 73. She and her 67-year-old husband David have been waiting since March to see relatives. Both have served as first responders in the past, and they thought they were going to be one of the first in line to get their dose.
I'm a polio survivor, and I've had several surgeries, and my husband is a diabetic, so we know we're in the high-risk group, and we thought we'd be a little closer to getting the vaccine than we are.
Those over 65 were supposed to be one of the first, but a last-second change pushed that to 75 and older. The 65 to 74 age range is now in Phase 1C, coming after first responders and grocery workers and teachers.
It hurts. It hurts. It's when the vaccine was announced that it was out and ready to be distributed, we were thrilled.
Governor Lamont was pressed today about speeding up the rollout and making it more accessible, but he says his hands are tied.
What limits us is not our intent to get as many people vaccinated as fast as we can. We've got the platform in place, the infrastructure to do that. What limits us is the supply of vaccines.
5 years ago, a beloved school security guard in Manchester passed away of a heart attack. Matthew Campbell also had that story.
In solemn sadness, students leave Manchester High before noon today. Classes dismissed early after beloved security guard Barry Mitchell, known to most as Mitch, died from an apparent heart attack. The sudden death sent shockwaves throughout the city and beyond. Working at the school for 18 years, Mitch guided many through life's ups and downs.
He was able to connect with students, faculty alike. I mean, he just knew everybody.
Manchester Police Captain Chris Davis says Mitch wasn't just there for the kids. He could be a mentor for school resource officers, too.
Is a great role model for students, for faculty and our SROs alike. I mean, he was just an all-around great human being, and somebody that the students looked up to, respected, and revered.
Online, students echoed those sentiments, saying Mitch was the only member of administration that deeply respected and cared for every student at MHS. I am going to miss him so much. Superintendent Matt Geary says Mitch provided the comfort that every parent sought, saying students universally liked and respected Mitch because he treated everyone with patience and dignity. When Mitch was around, you just felt safe.
And 10 years ago today in Connecticut history, a South Windsor man was sentenced for kidnapping his ex-wife and burning down their home. In court, he made a surprise confession. Eric Parker has that story.
He's already been convicted of kidnapping, threatening, and assaulting Nancy Tyler and burning down their South Windsor home in 2009. Today, what prosecutors call Richard Schenkman's campaign to destroy his ex-wife continued. In a bizarre and rambling statement at his sentencing, he told Judge Julia Dewey that he's hired a hitman to someday gun her down.
There is no punishment the system can serve on me to save her life. A strong voice for domestic violence movement will be silenced forever.
Schenkman's attorney asked repeatedly in court today for a mental examination before the sentencing. His requests were denied, and an insanity defense was already rejected by the jury.
We have a man who has obviously said things that a sane person would not. He's obviously gone off the reservation.
The prosecutor and victim don't buy it. They say Schenkman's just trying to keep manipulating as he spends the rest of his life in prison. Nancy Tyler appeared unaffected as Schenkman wound his tale of assassination.
Mr. Schenkman stalked me, harassed me, sued my family members, inundated me with emails threatening to destroy me, followed my son, harassed my children, threatened my law partners, tried to interfere with my job.
Judge Dewey was also unmoved as she sentenced the 62-year-old to 70 years in prison.
What you don't do in this court is you don't determine what the rule of law is. The citizens of Connecticut have already determined that, and whether you like it or not, the citizens spoke.
Hugh Keefe did say he believes errors were made during the trial and said he does plan to appeal. Outside Hartford Superior Court, Eric Parker, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
And that's a look at today in Connecticut history.